Marauders, it's Wednesday. So this week's theme, which I'm sort of hitting myself in the head for because I suggested it, is that we'll be talking about our favorite moment in the books. When I really started to think about it, the entire series encompasses a lot of moments. Here's some math for those of you so inclined. 199 chapters, including the epilogue. 3,407 pages. And 926,704 words. That's insane! And through that 926,704 words, there are a lot of moments in the books. Like when Sirius invites Harry to come and live with him instead of going back to the Dursleys for the summer. Or when the DA began and everyone was taking a stand against Umbridge. Or every single time that Harry saves the day and defeats the bad guys. Or when Ron and Hermione finally had that kiss that we've all been waiting for ever since she told him he had dirt on his nose. I mean, we cover 7 years of someone's life in this series, and there has to be at least one good moment in that whole span of time. If there wasn't, life would be super depressing for everyone involved. Plus, that would make a really terrible piece of writing. Who wants to read about someone's life that's depressing all the time? Sorry, not interesting. But it was still so hard for me to pick. Like, there were a lot of really good moments at the end of the book, especially during the final battle, or even the epilogue when Harry tells little Albus that Snape, who he's named after, was probably the bravest man he ever knew. That's not my favorite moment, by the way, despite the fact that it is a really good moment. This is so hard! But since I have to pick one, my favorite moment is this one. Call me Hagrid, he said. Everyone does. And like I told you, I'm Keeper of Keys at Hogwarts. You'll know all about Hogwarts, of course. No, said Harry. Hagrid looked shocked. Sorry, Harry said quickly. Sorry? Barked Hagrid, turning to stare at the Dursleys, who shrank back into the shadows. It's them as should be sorry. I knew you weren't getting your letters, but I never thought you wouldn't even know about Hogwarts for crying out loud. Did you never wonder where your parents learned it all? All what? Asked Harry. All what? Hagrid thundered. Now wait, just 1 second. He had leapt to his feet. In his anger, he seemed to fill the whole hut. The Dursleys were cowering against the wall. Do you mean to tell me, he growled at the Dursleys, that this boy, knows nothing about anything? Harry thought this was going a bit far. He had been to school after all, and his marks weren't bad. I know some things, he said. I can, do maths and stuff. But Hagrid simply waved his hand and said, about our world. I mean, your world. My world. Your parents' world. What world? Hagrid looked as if he was about to explode. Dursley! He boomed. Uncle Vernon, who had gone very pale, whispered something that sounded like mimble-wimble. Hagrid stared wildly at Harry. But you must know about your mom and dad, he said. I mean, they're famous. You're famous. What? My mom and dad weren't famous, were they? You don't know? You don't know. Hagrid ran his fingers through his hair, fixing Harry with a bewildered stare. That rhymed. You don't know what you are? He said finally. Uncle Vernon suddenly found his voice. Stop, he commanded. Stop right there, sir. I forbid you to tell that boy anything. A braver man than Vernon Dursley would have quailed under the furious look Hagrid now gave him. When Hagrid spoke, his every syllable trembled with rage. You never told him? Never told him what was in the letter Dumbledore left for him? I was there! I saw Dumbledore leave it, Dursley, and you've kept it from him all these years? Kept what from me? Said Harry eagerly. Stop, I forbid you! Yelled Uncle Vernon in panic. Aunt Petunia gave a gasp of horror. I'll go boil your heads, both of you, said Harry. Harry, you're a wizard. This moment is the exact point when the magic begins. Yeah, I know, Harry's already exercised his wizarding powers with the regrowing of the hair and the speaking of the parcel tongue. But this is the moment when it becomes real, when everything is full of possibility and, dare I say it, magic. This is the beginning of everything. That's why this is one of my favorite moments. Plus, it's really funny picturing Hagrid terrify the Dursleys. So your reread update for this week is Chapter 22 today and Chapter 23 tomorrow. If you've been keeping up, you know that Chapter 23 is the Malfoy Manor, which is the chapter where lots of terrible things happen. Not gonna lie, I started to get teary-eyed while I was reading this morning. It was awful. I've also picked up my tickets! When I ordered them a couple weeks ago, I was really skeptical because I thought I'd gotten scammed, because instead of having something to print out, I was given a code and just instructions to go down to the movie theater and pick them up myself. I'm extremely happy that I was not, in fact, scammed. Last thing before I go, if anyone follows Pottermore on Twitter, you know that tomorrow they're doing a special preview of one of the chapters. I'm not actually sure where you'll find it, but I'll leave you guys a link to the Twitter page just in case. There's also another pretty cool link that will lead you to some images that look like the screen for the site, which might help give you a better idea of what exactly Pottermore is. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to give that out, so guys, shh, don't tell anybody. Kylie, I'll see you tomorrow.